zusammen and welcome to lesson number 5 in a 30-part series on how to learn German in 30 days. In today's lesson you will learn a number of grammatically practical categories in German. First of all, you will learn one of the most important phrases on planet Earth, which is I love you. If we break it down for a sec, I subject, love verb, you the direct object, and based on your knowledge you guys know that the direct object in German means the accusative case. So you will learn all the personal pronouns in the accusative case today to be able to say this: Ich liebe dich. I love you. Next on the agenda we've got the less important demonstrative pronoun, which turns out to be much easier than the situation in English, diese. So it's only one. But we've got a number of different endings depending on the gender of the noun and the case. Speaking of the case, we will stick to the first two cases in German, the nominative case and the accusative case for both personal and demonstrative pronouns in both singular and plural. So, armed with this demonstrative pronoun diese, we will go food shopping. Why? Because we can now, or we will, be able to effectively communicate what we want, right? We can point to a certain piece of meat, that piece of meat, right? And say diese. So we will also go shopping alcoholic spirits. You will learn that all alcoholic beverages in German are masculine, with one notable exception. And I will give you a hint. What is Bavaria famous for? Have you ever been to the Oktoberfest? That's the exception, so stay tuned to find out more. After that, we will go to the checkout, obviously, because we have to pay, and we will ask kindly the lady or the sir at the checkout using ich möchte and bitte. Those are magical. To give us specific notes because we need them for, some reason, right? We will also learn how to tell the year in German, right? Like 2023 as opposed to 1923. And at the end I've got two particles for you, which you could do without. It's denn and aber, but they make a difference when it comes to creating, somewhat softer, milder meaning, right? Or, by asking questions or like trying to make a request. Was kostet dieser Brief nach Japan? Per Luftpost? Ja, bitte. Einen Moment, ich muss ihn wiegen. Der Brief wiegt 60 Gramm. Das macht 5,11 €. Das ist aber teuer. Möchten Sie Sondermarken? Ja, bitte. Ich möchte 2 Sondermarken zu 3 €. Tut mir leid, ich habe nur Sondermarken zu 1,50. Dann nehme ich 5 Sondermarken zu 1,50. Diese Postmarke möchte ich in die Schweiz schicken. Für eine Postkarte in die Schweiz brauchen Sie eine Briefmarke für 51 Cent. Das macht zusammen 8,01 €. 10 €. Dann bekommen Sie noch 1,99 € zurück. Bitte schön. Ich möchte noch Geld umtauschen. 100.000 Yen in Euro. Gerne. 100.000 Yen, das macht 793 €. Wie möchten Sie das Geld haben? 300er, 2 200er und einen 50er, 4 10er, den Rest in Münzen, einen 500er und 2 100er, einen 50er, 4 10er, den Rest in Münzen, bitte. Take a look at this table and you will instantly recognize that the demonstrative pronouns dieser, diese and dieses are declined in the same way as the definite articles der, die, das. What does it mean, declined? Well, we're talking about those tiny little changes, the endings, the declensions at the end of those words, right? And we also know that in the accusative case, the only category that we need to pay attention to are masculine nouns. Do you remember our beautiful sentence? Ich möchte eine Cola, ich möchte ein Wasser, but ich möchte einen Kaffee, because Kaffee is masculine, der Kaffee. Same applies here. We point to a product we're interested in and we go, ich möchte diesen Käse bitte, because cheese is masculine in German, der Käse. As opposed to ich möchte diese Milch or ich möchte dieses Fleisch. Right? Wonderful news is that in the plural we have only one diese. It stays the same in the nominative and in the accusative case, and it works across all three grammatical genders. Ich möchte diese Briefmarken bitte, die Briefmarke. Ich möchte diese Bücher bitte, das Buch. Und ich möchte diese Bleistifte bitte, der Bleistift, pencils. That's all to it. Exercise time! Yuki, the famous Japanese character, who you're now familiar with, she goes shopping and she uses the demonstrative pronoun diese a lot to communicate what she wants, right? And based on the example sentence or sentences, your job is to form sentences correctly by using the demonstrative pronoun diese correctly. Okay, so the first noun we've got is das Brot, a neuter noun, and she says, ich möchte dieses Brot bitte. We know, even though möchte requires the accusative case, there are no changes for neuter nouns and feminine nouns, right? So it stays the same. Dieses Brot, ich möchte dieses Brot. And then, was kostet dieses Brot, right? Stays the same, right? First noun is der Käse. I've already told you actually. So based on the article der that indicates the gender of this noun, which is masculine, we have to be careful because this happens to be one grammatical category which demands some changes in the accusative case. Yeah? Do you remember? Der Kaffee. Ich möchte diesen Kaffee bitte. Right? Or what did we have? Diesen Käse actually, right? So, ich möchte diesen Käse. That's right. Der Käse, diesen Käse. Dieser Käse, diesen Käse. Was kostet dieser Käse, right? I know you are confused because I've just said dieser Käse. No one says dieser Käse in German. People tend to swallow it actually, the ending. And then, when it comes to write things down, okay, you see that it's dieser Käse. Was kostet dieser Käse? Okay, ich möchte diesen Käse. Okay, Nummer 2, die Wurst. The famous Wurst, German Wurst. Right, ich möchte diese Wurst bitte. Right? I actually don't have to think a lot here. Feminine nouns. Nominative, accusative case stays the same. Right? Ich möchte diese Wurst hier. Was kostet diese Wurst? Right? 3. Die Milch. Same applies here. Ich möchte diese Milch. Was kostet diese Milch? Right? 4. Das Bier. Same here. Ich möchte dieses Bier, bitte. Was kostet dieses Bier? And 5. Der Honig. Attention please. Der. Right. Ich möchte diesen. Did you say diesen? That's right. Diesen Honig, bitte. Right? Was kostet dieser Honig? Good job! Alright guys, I know that you are intrigued to find out what is the only exception when it comes to alcoholic beverages, right? And you've guessed correctly, it's das Bier. Based on the last sentence. No. The sentence number 4, right? It's das Bier, right? So it's der Wein, der Champagner, der Cognac, der Whisky, aber, but, das Bier. I mean, that's a very practical piece of information to have at the back of your mind. when you go shopping, right? Ich möchte diesen Wein bitte. Ich möchte diesen Wodka. Ich möchte diesen Whisky, right? But das Bier, very useful when you decide to go to the Oktoberfest. September, October, save the date. It's fun. Trying to make a smooth transition here from the demonstrative pronoun diese to personal pronouns in the accusative case. The question is, nehmen Sie diesen Wein? I take this wine. Ja, ich nehme ihn. Kennen Sie diese Frau? Do you know this woman? Ja, ich kenne sie. Lesen Sie dieses Buch? Ja, ich lese es. Based on the sentences, the examples, trying to use the inductive approach here, which is said to be more efficient for your brain to memorize certain patterns, you know. Haven't noticed anything yet? If not, don't panic. I'll show you a wonderful table that is a compressed version of what I'm about to tell you. Okay? But before that, let's warm ourselves up a bit. Personal pronouns in the nominative case. Ping pong, ping pong. You ready? Ich, du, sie, es. Wir, ihr, sie capitalized. Right? And now, ta-da! The accusative case. Ich turns into mich. So to learn the personal pronouns in the accusative case, let's say this wonderful phrase. Ich liebe mich. I love myself. Ich liebe mich. Ich liebe dich. I love you. Ich liebe ihn. I love him. Ich liebe sie. I love her. Ich liebe es. I love it. Ich liebe es. Ich liebe uns. I love ourselves. Ich liebe euch. I love you. Ich liebe sie. Sie. I love you. So it's the same in English, doesn't it? So, have you noticed anything? Mich, dich, ihn, sie, es. Back to the nominative case. Ich, du, sie, es. Sie, es. Stay the same in both the nominative and the accusative case. Check. Then in the plural. Wir, uns, ihr, euch, sie stays the same. Brilliant. Exercise time. Replace the underlined words by a personal pronoun. Okay? Because you know that the job of pronouns is to replace the entire noun phrases. Okay? So, was kostet diese Schokolade? We don't have to replace just Schokolade, but actually diese Schokolade. Diese Schokolade is our noun phrase. And based on diese, we know it's a feminine noun. So, mental operation. Ich, du, sie. And sie stays the same in both the nominative and accusative cases. So, was kostet sie? Right? Diese Schokolade, was kostet sie? Nummer 1. Ich möchte diesen Champagner. Yeah, told you. Alcoholic beverages are masculine. Diesen Champagner. Ich möchte ihn. Ich möchte ihn. That's right. Nummer 3. Yuki trifft Franz. So Franz is a male person. Again, here. Yuki trifft ihn. That's correct. Because mit plus direct object treffen, also jemanden, right? So, treffen die Manns, accusative case, right? In 4. Yuki trifft Hans und Franz. So, she meets them, right? Them. Sie trifft, we need the plural, right? Sie trifft sie. We don't have to think a lot. Sie stays sie, right? Sie trifft sie. Okay? Und Nummer 5. Wo wohnt Herr Müller? Okay? So, wo wohnt er? Easy. Wo wohnt er? Good job! So, as promised, the year in German. We've got 2023 right now, right? In German it's 2023. 2023. You know why it's 23, don't you? Based on our last video. So 3 once und 20 and then tens, right? 23 and then 2023. It's a bit different with 1923 because you say 1900. 1923 stays the same. Okay? So 2023 und 1923. Let's practice a bit. When did Queen Victoria become queen? 1837. 1837. What else do we have? When did Shakespeare die? 1616, isn't it? 1616. When did Queen Elizabeth become queen? 1558, right? 1558. Okay? And last one. When did Queen Victoria stop being queen? 1901, right? 1901. By the way, don't think I'm smart. I'm just training my memory, just constantly practicing. Let's talk about money. Ein Zehner, based on 10, and then the ending er. Ein Zehner, capitalized. Kann ich bitte einen Zehner haben? Haben, accusative, right? Einen Zehner, der Zehner, einen Zehner haben. Ich möchte bitte einen 20er haben, einen 20er. Same principle. And then obviously, if it's a €5 note, you go ein Fünfer. Oh, ich möchte einen Fünfer. We do have 100 notes, right? Ein Hunderter, ein Hunderter, ein 200er, ein 500er. Didn't I tell you how practical German compounds are? 5 plus 100, 500, ein 500er. Right, exercise time. Look at the example and fill in the sums of money in words. Okay, so let's do this one together. You have 12, then a comma, and then 93, right? So you refer to the number before the comma and then the second number after the comma. As in English, right? 12,93, right? 12, then you say Euro, 12 Euro und 93 Cent. 12 Euro, sometimes you omit und 12,93 Euro or 12,93, right? But normally you would say 12,93 Euro. First one. 4,68 Cent. Nummer 2. Euro 17 Cent. Nummer 3. 127 Euro 15 Cent. Nummer 4. 1345 Euro und 11 Cent. Nummer 5. 10.699 Euro und 30 Cent. So, and the last one. 216.222 Euro und 99 Cent. Right. So, next up we've got telephone numbers and postcodes, which are extremely important for both formal correspondence and to stay in touch. Because I'm based in Munich, we will deal with the Munich telephone numbers. The Munich telephone numbers, they begin with 089 and then you've got the number and you just read out loud the digits, right? So based on this telephone number, we go 089 62 30 8413. That's all to it. Okay? And the postcode in Munich, they start with 8, right? So this one goes 80805 München. Okay? So, by the way, on the telephone, you often say 2 instead of 2. Just so that you are not surprised when it's, hear 2 instead of 2. Okay, exercise time. Which number or numbers are correct? Nummer 1. So, we've got telephone 642 66. A. 642 66. B. 642 66 und C. 642 66. So if we eliminate the incorrect ones, then it can't be A. We don't use 600 when talking about numbers. We use 100 and 1000 when talking about years, right? So it's actually B and C, right? So B 64266 or 642 66. 2. Jahreszahl 1996. Based on the example at the beginning, we had 1923, right? So it has to be A. 1996. Nummer 3, we've got 1275, Euro. 1275, 1275, 1257. Right, so it can't be C, right? Because not the German thinking is applied here, right? We start with the ones and end with the tens, right? 75, okay, so that's the correct ending. So it's actually A and B, A und B. 1275 Euro oder 1275 Euro, okay? A beautiful exercise for creative minds out there. We've got pictures and your job is to add the correct noun plus article, okay? And you've got the words above, right? Okay, so Nummer 1 ist die Telefonzelle. Telefonzelle. It's like Zelle is a cell. Telefonzelle. I think they are getting abandoned, right? Because everyone has got a mobile, which is handy in German. Ja, die Telefonzelle. Nummer 2. Wer ist das? Das ist der Briefträger. You've got the verb tragen here, carry. Brief, letters. Somebody who carries letters. Briefträger. German compounds. Briefträger. Nummer 3. Where are you? Nummer 3? Here, okay. So, die Adresse. No? Die Adresse. Nummer 4 ist die Postkarte. Und Nummer 5 ist die Briefmarke. Nummer 6 ist, tadam, ist, who can find it? Nummer 6. Briefkasten. Briefkasten. Nummer 7, give me 1 second, ist Briefumschlag. Und Nummer 8 ist ein Paket, das Paket. Okay? So, how many compounds, compositor have we learned? Postkarte, Telefonzelle, Briefmarke, Briefkasten, Briefumschlag, Briefträger. Guys, all of them with 2 exceptions. Told you. It's very common, very common. Particle time. First one is aber. So in today's text, Yuki says, "Das ist aber teuer." She sounds very surprised. And in the very first lesson, we had this sentence, "Du hast aber Glück." Right? Somebody expresses astonishment. Right? So it's used as a particle, not as a connective here, even though sometimes it's beautifully connecting to clauses or noun phrases or verb phrases or verbs or sentences or sometimes even paragraphs. Okay? So this is number 1 and number 2 is denn. Wo ist denn die Haltestelle? Yeah, again, this makes the question less direct, less impolite. Okay, wo ist denn die Haltestelle? Wie komme ich denn zum Bahnhof? So, this concludes this lesson number 5. You are amazing. You have worked so hard and we have done so much. I'm so proud of you. Keep it up. Weiter so. Sehr gut. Okay? I wish you all success and joy on your learning journey. Und ich liebe euch. I think it nicely sums up this lesson, doesn't it? And I'll see you in lesson number 6 next week. Tschüss zusammen!